Okay, everybody. Well, welcome to another episode of the Government Mule podcast. My name is Michael Willis. I'm the Tulsa County Clerk. Today, my guest is Derek Cowan. Derek is our manager of the recording department in the county clerk's office. And I'll just say before I turn it over to Derek, one of the things we wanted to do and I wanted to do with this podcast is really highlight some of the other government mules in addition to me that work at Tulsa County. Derek's been with us for a long time. He's a key member of our staff, and he's just overall a fascinating guy. Before I ask him anything or give him a hard time about anything, I will say Derek is also on the credits to this podcast because one of his hobbies, probably more than a hobby really, is music. So he did the music for our intro and our outro on the Government Mule podcast. So, Derek, welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So, I want people to kind of understand a little bit about, what you do, what your job is, but also probably more importantly, who you are and how you got here. So, in our staff in the county clerk's office, we have about 43 full-time people right now. Out of that 43 people, the numbers are kind of dwindling on the folks that have been here for what I would consider a real long time. But I would be your fourth county clerk that you've worked for. Mm-hmm. And so Derek's part of a kind of a unique club, and we've only got a handful of people left working in the county clerk's office that have worked for now 4 county clerks. So Derek, tell me how you got your start.
One of my friend's mothers, her name is Bonita. Her name was Bonita Knighton. She worked here in, I believe, accounting. And I worked for a bank down the street, and I was one of their runners. So I would come and record things that in the department that I work for now. And sometimes, if I had time, I would go and say hi to her. And then this was back in summer of 97, before I started working here. And she told me it's some people retiring, it's some people that are kind of stepping down or whatever. And there may be room for me to apply and get a better job, because the bank I was working for was merging with another one, and they were kind of cutting some departments, and mine was one of them. So I didn't want to move to Oklahoma City, that they were going to offer me to go to Oklahoma City, but I didn't know anybody. So I wanted to stay here. So I applied, and then I got an interview with the 3 top employees with the county in one room. And, it became more like a conversation than an interview. And here I am. 28 and a half years later, and I'm still going. I barely had any hair on my face.
Yeah.
when
you were 14,
right?
When you started. So.
Right. But yeah, I'm glad that. I'm glad it happened. I'm glad that she told me, that she alerted me to the openings that could come to pass, and it's a blessing, and I'm so glad to have the team that I have and the teams that I've worked in, because I've worked in land records for 21 years. And then I got a chance to come over to recording, and I stayed. And I'm so glad that I have, for the team that I have now, we've put these people together, and they work together, and they work well together, and they work well under us. And it's just a great team.
So for people that don't know about sort of our organization structure in the county clerk's office, we have Derek works in the real estate services division, and in that division there are 2 departments, recording and land records. So Derek worked, you said 17 years, right? 21 years, I'm sorry, in land records, where Derek's job in land records would be he would index records, verify records coming into our system,
and
search, help customers, lots of customer service stuff. On the recording side, we have customers come in
Yep.
the office to record documents. We have people come in. Well, they also receive a ton of stuff through both the mail and e-recordings.
Mm-hmm.
But Derek and his team's job really is getting documents through the door, lots of customer service,
Yep.
lots of contact with people who
Yep.
really don't know exactly what they might need to be doing.
That's right.
But Derek's team is really good at handling all of the variety
Yeah, right.
of people.
Oh, definitely.
And we get some interesting ones
Oh,
in
yeah.
the office.
And some that we've known for years.
Yeah.
But one thing that we also try to do is give as much guidance as we can without sounding like or without it being implied as legal advice,
Right.
because that can get legal professionals not on our side. It could. So
Yeah.
but we now have more than half of our recordings are e-recordings. So
So
makes
they come in via the interwebs.
Yep. Yes, right.
Into
The
a queue.
internets.
The internets. And our staff uses that queue to start the process rather than coming in via an envelope in the
Right.
mail or
Right.
just over the counter by a customer.
And some people feel that it's safer and more efficient because you never know when that mail is going to arrive, because someone may have sent something March 23rd and we don't get it until April 17th. So some people would rather bring in certain things they'd rather bring in themselves and walk out with it. Some things that are more life or death type things or time sensitive, they would rather bring them in, hand them to us, and we'd hand them back to them with a receipt and recording information on it. And that seems to satisfy them more than sending it online or mailing it in. Some things you should not mail in. So
Yeah.
yeah.
So on any given day,
Mm-hmm.
your department will see, I would say, probably a minimum of 75 customers come through the door to maybe a maximum of hundreds.
Yes.
What's some of your favorite types of customers we get?
Entertainment wise, is different than the favorites. We have favorites that come in often enough to where we got to know them and about their family and things like that. Those are some of the ones that we enjoy coming in, and we enjoy all your constituents coming in.
Yes, we want everybody to come in.
That's right. But there are some that we think, oh, where's John? I mean, he hadn't been in a week or whatever. So those are the ones that we have conversations with them, and sometimes they'll talk about some legal standings or legal issues or whatever, and it might be a subject or a topic that we're dealing with at that time while they're standing there. And I mean, it's interesting conversations, and it's interesting occurrences that happen that sometimes don't end in the best circumstance, in the best way, but we get through it. And sometimes I'm glad you told me this. I'm glad we went all the way through this, and now I know what to do next time. So I mean, it's a good feeling to get people to, even when they just say thank you and they walk away.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, because the alternative might not be as good. So
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned this to the staff and talk about this a lot. I try to go out into the community and be part of different things going on and whatever, and not a week goes by that I don't have someone come up to me and say, I was in your office last week, and I really didn't know what to expect. I really didn't know what I was doing, but the staff really helped me get from point A to point B. and I was really more surprised about how that worked rather than thinking it was going to be a really difficult and not fun circumstance. And I always tell people, I'm like, well, you know, for us, we know that we have a monopoly on land records in Tulsa. You can't pick another county clerk's office to go to and record your documents or do your research on real estate or anything like that. But we try to maintain that we have the privilege of treating our customers like actual customers, not like an inconvenience. And there are some government offices that don't do that. And I'm grateful for you and your team because, you know, you're the front door to our office essentially. Yeah. And we get such great customer feedback, but not every customer is always happy when they leave. And you mentioned the entertaining ones that we get. Talk about some of your more entertaining, if you will, experiences with people.
Well, I mean, we get some people who they seem to have a little bit of knowledge about real estate or the law or the statutes or whatever. And I don't want to describe too much because it might be somebody watching.
Sometimes they think they know more than they do.
Yes.
Sometimes we have to deliver them news that's, you know, not exactly what they were hoping for.
Right. I mean, and sometimes that's what it is. It's a statute or something they have to follow, and they either didn't know about it or never had to follow that rule or practice or procedure in another county. Well, it's right here on paper. It has to be done. And we try not to be pushy, but we try to warn them or just warn them that if this part doesn't happen, this other part might not happen. I mean, because sometimes it's a domino effect, and this domino has to fall in order for that one to fall. So we try to help them as much as we can to that line of legal advice,
right? Because
that's what we don't want to appear to do, and a lot of it is the rules and the rules, the laws, the statutes, the practices, procedures, and some of the practices are just what we do to make it more efficient, but which becomes procedure, and then the rules and the law. I mean, the statutes and the laws. We have to follow them too. So
yeah. I mean, that's our job is really to abide by those, and there's not really any wiggle room.
Right. And people, you know, we don't interpret them. We'll tell them what it is. If they want to print out, if we have it, we'll probably give it to them. But they still have to interpret most of it themselves. I mean, unless it's some attorney standing by that
can give them some advice
that was listening, and then they might give some information.
Yeah, and you know, sometimes we just get customers. We had one yesterday they come in, like any other business. Every business deals with this. Yeah. Sometimes people act like knuckleheads. We had one yesterday, and so, you know, one of the things that I actually kind of enjoy this part about my job is that I'm not out at the front desk all that often. I mean, I walk through a lot and I check on people and whatever, but I'm not actually back there recording documents with you all very often. But if we have a situation that needs a little maybe more attention or more authority on it or whatever, Derek's staff is very good about notifying me or our chief of staff. Both of us are reserve law enforcement. We've got a couple other folks in the office. One of our guys in land records is a former military police. And so we've got some help. Yesterday, funny story, we had a guy who came in who has been stealing our pens. I mean,
Yeah.
This is really funny. So we have a guy that comes in fairly routinely, and one time he tried to steal one of our U.S. Postal Service mailboxes. Security caught him on the way out the door, got the mail carrier back. I think it was last week he came in and stole like a whole container of our pens. And we have little pens, and they're very inexpensive. But they say Tulsa County Clerk's Office on them, and if a customer picks up a pen and leaves with it, we're not going to argue or anything. I mean, it's there for their convenience. They're blue. I like blue ink. We need wet ink signatures on a lot of the documents that we have. And so
it's easier to tell that.
Those are easy to tell. And so they're there for a purpose. But this guy came in stealing pens last week. He was back yesterday. As soon as he came in, I was notified. So I came up and worked at one of our empty stations for a while. And the guy came up 2 or 3 different times because he had gone to land records and gotten a few copies of documents, and he came up and he paid. I think the first one was like $7, and then he came back 5 minutes later and paid $2 more for 2 more copies, and then he came back a few more minutes and paid $6 for 6 more copies. He kind of lingered around, and I think he kind of knew that we were keeping an eye on him. And then he left, and then he came back, and sure enough, he sat over at our little conference table and grabbed a whole big wad of pens. And I intercepted him. I went into police mode, intercepted him, and he was real surprised. And but we saved the pens. We got our pens back. You know, our 25-cent pens.
That's right.
That's an example of a kind of sort of entertaining customer that we might deal with every once in a while. And Derek gets a good dose of those on the regular.
Yeah, I mean, and it's mostly entertaining when we get that type of person coming in. And not often do we get someone that's loud or obnoxious or anything like that, but we have had to handle them, and we've had to explain the reason this doesn't happen, that doesn't happen, or this shouldn't, and that's just the way it goes.
Yeah.
And if another county doesn't do it this way, I mean, that's fine, but don't expect us to waive a rule because the next county doesn't do it.
Right.
So, I mean, that's just, but it is sometimes entertaining. And we laugh and we talk while we got our heads down and diving into the work. But it's a fun place to be. I am one of those who are eligible for retirement, but I don't really want to go yet.
Not quite ready.
No, because I love what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And, and one of these days when I have my retirement career set up, I'll go ahead and give warning, and I won't go, hey, I'm not coming in tomorrow. So
we appreciate that.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that would leave us in a bit of a lurch.
Yeah.
Did you think 28 years ago when you started that you'd be here
No.
for 28 years?
When I interviewed, they said, so what do you want to be? Where do you think you'll be in 5 years? This was back in 97. I was getting back into acting and stuff. And I said, I thought they meant what location, not what status I would have. I said, I'm be in Hollywood. He said, oh, you're ambitious, huh? I said, I'm supposed to be, right? And then we got to talking, and then it became a conversation. And then they said, well, come on back Monday and we'll get you set up. That's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what happened. I was still able to have some theater acting gigs and a couple of commercials and stuff like that. But it was, this kind of held me grounded.
Mm-hmm.
And, it's been a good ride, and I want to ride it a little bit more before I go. And we get to see our retirees come in and visit, and or
Yeah.
whether they're picking up something or coming to talk to one of our leaders
Yeah.
of like retirement or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's good to see some of those.
Yeah, we try to involve our retirees as much as possible.
Yeah.
We have a handful of them that come to our
Yep.
Thanksgiving lunches and
Yeah.
different celebrations we do in the office for different people having things going on. We got
That's right.
a celebration today for someone who's going to get married here in a couple
Yeah.
of weeks. Well, on your team, Kylie on your team is
Yeah,
getting
she
married.
is.
She'll be out for a little while, but
And we have a retiree from another office that came back to work
Right.
for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, we have some part timers and we have some interns that are coming in this summer, and that we have had for a couple of years.
yeah.
So I mean, just some continuity kind of works for us, and with someone who has worked in another office who has knowledge of our material work, that helps too. So
Yeah, been super helpful.
yeah, it really is.
Well, let's switch a little bit away from work stuff.
Yeah.
And talk a little bit more about your personal background and some of that kind of stuff. Now, despite the fact that you're wearing a Philadelphia Eagles lanyard today, you know, a couple weeks ago you came up and you were like, hey, man, you mind if I wear this Philadelphia or this lanyard? I didn't even pay super close attention to it. And I looked at it and I'm like, is that for the Philadelphia Eagles?
Yeah.
And anyway, it was kind of funny because I think some people joke with you about, well, was it for the Edison Eagles? Was it in Edison High School? No.
Booker T right here.
So
yeah,
Booker T, class of
90. Yeah.
1990.
And then, but when it comes to the Eagles part,
Yeah.
I became an Eagles fan when I was in high school because the Dallas Cowboys sold the team to Jerry Jones. They fired the only coach they ever had. I was a Cowboys fan up till that time. And I was already a fan of some Eagle players. And Randall Cunningham being the most prominent of those players that I liked.
Yeah.
And, you know, I've been an Eagle fan since then. And I finally got a jersey last year, and a Randall Cunningham jersey.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's...
I think we had a Jersey Day one day, didn't we?
Yeah. And I wore an OU jersey. I've been an OU fan since I knew what football was.
Yeah.
But it's...
Well, the next Jersey
and we have
Day,
those fun events. And
Yeah.
we have a lot of those. Yeah.
next Jersey Day, you'll have to break that Randall
Yeah,
Cunningham
I'm
one
going to
out.
break that out, yeah. But, I mean, when it comes to other interests, I mean, the interest that I've had the most activity in has been music. I mean, I was an athlete for a little bit. I played basketball in middle school and high school, but played a little baseball. But music has always been, ever since I got my first Casio keyboard when I was 9 years old.
Yeah.
That's when I just loved it, and I would listen to commercials and TV shows on the television, and I'd try to play the theme song music. And one of my favorites to play was this show called Hill Street Blues. It was just a piano part.
Yeah.
And you know, so it was always, and my family encouraged it. Mm-hmm. And I was the most musically inclined in my family, but my sister played flute. My mom, I think she played flute also a long time ago, and my dad was a football player. But it was, I'm glad they encouraged it because I was going to find a way to do it anyway if they didn't. So
Yeah. You know, it's funny. So when I started as county clerk in January of 2017, Derek was still working in the land records area. I think you kind of sat like in the middle or towards the back of our old setup back there. And when I started, I didn't really know Derek. I mean, I'd seen him around the building a little bit, but didn't really know that much about him. And, you know, he was fairly quiet in the office. So over the years, I've learned all these things about you. It makes me fascinated because I kind of refer to you as the office Renaissance man. I mean, you're like...
Hey, I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, a very accomplished musician. We both kind of, on occasion, well,
do karaoke.
Do a little bit of karaoke here and there, which is we've had some super fun times.
Yeah. I mean, and that's a thing that we do now.
Yeah.
It's not even no question
Yeah.
that are we going to so and so? Yeah, y'all going to do karaoke? Yeah,
Well, yeah.
Of course we are.
Yeah, we're gonna do karaoke.
Yeah.
Sure. But in addition to that, I mean, and your love for music, the thing that fascinates me, because I love music too, and I grew up in school. I was in vocal music and did band for a couple of years playing trumpet, but didn't do anything else instrumentally. And I own a couple of guitars, but I'm not very good at them. And never really did any piano, although I can read music enough to peck something out.
Yeah.
But you're pretty fluent in several instruments. You like piano. We've talked about drums before.
Our county employee band, we had a band, and
talk about the Tulsa County band we had.
The
back in
Tulsa
day.
County employee band was awesome playing with these people, and there was people from IT, from HR, from Juvenile Bureau, from building ops, sheriff office. We just said, hey, you play guitar, right? You sing, right? You play bass, right? And then let's come and jam. We used to go to one of the buildings at about 3rd and Houston, and it was a room where you could just plug and play. And man, it was awesome. We had a couple of gigs. It was county funded gigs where we played for them.
We did like a charitable giving campaign, lunch one time.
Right.
And
United Way stuff and all that. Yeah. But it was, man, I miss those days. But some of us, I'll say probably all of us, were into music some kind of way.
Yeah.
And I mean, many of us kept going. Many of it just kept going. We came into the band as a musician. When it kind of dissolved because of retirements and things like that and resignations, some of us kept doing it. And I just kept doing it because, I just love it so much, and I love the creative part of it.
Yeah.
And I mean, sometimes it's just in a person to do that.
Yeah.
And, I can imagine a lot of those former members are still doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of the creative part, so here a couple months ago, we were working on putting this podcast together for a while, and I had kind of mentioned to you a while back, I'm like, hey, I might need some music help at some point. And a couple months ago, I went to you, I'm like, hey, man, this is getting real.
Yeah.
We're gonna need some intro and outro music, and I mean, it didn't take you long. You went home and knocked it out over a weekend or something. And brought me a demo, and we loved it and we use it.
All right, I appreciate that. I mean, it's stuff that I have that, that will only be instrumental. Some stuff that I might put vocals on, but I like to hear what people imagine when they hear it.
Yeah.
Some people may say it sounds like it's opening credits, or it sounds like somebody was driving down Riverside. Say, okay, that sounds good.
Yeah.
I can hear that too. So, I mean, it's everybody has some type of creative outlet, whether it's painting, drawing, writing, or whatever, or making or sewing or whatever, or knitting blankets. Yeah,
we got some quilters in the office.
Yeah, we got some quilters. We got some creative people in the office.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
And, to have an outlet, a creative outlet especially, is good for the mind, body, and soul. So,
totally agree.
Yeah.
Well, we're getting close to our time frame for today.
Yeah.
We need to do this again.
Okay.
Because there's a couple other things I want to talk about one of these days, including the fact that little known, or maybe not little, but not widely known in the Tulsa County community, but Derek Cowan is actually a member of a boy band.
Long time ago, but
A couple of years ago.
yeah, we still are in contact. So
Yeah, and so we'll talk about that another time. But really, the key to this podcast, helping people get to know our people at Tulsa County. I've done one of these with Maggie before she left.
Yeah.
And that was the first episode we did.
Yeah, that was
This
good
is
one.
the next one like that, and we'll do many more of these.
Yeah.
But I couldn't think of a better person to have on this one than you, because
Well, thank you.
you're a really unique guy and
Yeah.
such an incredible part of our team. And again, I say this, I think I've said this on everything I've recorded. We do really have an incredible team. We talked about it
Yes, we
earlier.
do.
We're blessed to be able to work with some really incredible public servants
Yeah.
and folks that really take public service seriously. And at the same time, we try to have as much fun as possible
That's
in
right.
the office because, that's what you should do.
That's
I mean,
right.
we spend more time with our colleagues at work in a lot of cases than we are able to with even family members
yeah.
sometimes. So anyway, we're blessed to have a great crew in the county clerk's office. Derek is our recording manager, runs a great shop up front. If you ever come into our office and need something, probably the recording department will be your first stop. Talk to Derek or one of his people there. They take good
Yeah.
care of you. So anything else you want to part with?
Well,
Go Eagles.
that's that's right. And go Knicks and Thunder, whichever one.
Yeah.
So
So you've been listening to the Government Mule podcast, produced by the Tulsa County Clerk's Office. I'm Michael Willis, Tulsa County Clerk. This is Derek Cowan, recording manager for the Clerk's Office. We're signing off on this one, but we'll be back with another episode soon. Thanks.